everyone, Nancy here, and for this week's podcast, I am going to be doing a Coffee and Christie theme. I started back in 2020 aiming to read every Agatha Christie novel, and so far I am up to number 28, and number 28 happens to be Passenger to Frankfurt, which is a little bit different for her. It is a spy novel, not so much a whodunit. There are no major detectives in here that you would know. There's no Miss Marple. There's no Poirot. There's none of them that she has used before. And this one was published in 1970. Let me just jump right in here. This novel is really about the possibility of a worldwide rebellion or a worldwide uprising, and the belief of those who are in the spy biz is that college campuses throughout Europe, in the United States, and South America have been targeted by those who want to overthrow governments throughout the entire world, and that there are riots that are being instigated, there are protests, there's violence that is being instigated at the college level, and that is now spreading into the rest of the population and the rest of our communities. There is a group that is trying to stop this. The main character is a man named Sir Stafford Nye. Sir Stafford Nye is around 40-something, and he has been in the diplomatic corps in England for quite a while, but he hasn't had a whole lot of success. And he meets, supposedly by chance, this woman who is nicknamed Marianne, and she asks him to help her because of a weather problem. There's a flight delay on a flight that would be going from their location to Geneva to London, and this is the passenger to Frankfurt, which is supposedly going to be diverted, which is actually Sir Stafford Nye is the one who's going to be diverted, not this lady. Because there are those who would be trying to kill her if they see her with her passport in her face. And so he's wearing this big cloak, and she says, well, if you can lend me your cloak and your passport, with the cloak around my face, I'll go into the bathroom and cut my hair off. I'll look enough like you. And they did kind of resemble each other, so it worked. She got on the plane using his passport, and she tells him that she put a mild sedative, a safe sedative, in his beer, and that he should drink that so he falls asleep, and he'll have a story that someone drugged him to steal his passport and his money and all this. And so that's where the story really gets going. From there, the story twists and turns, and Sir Stafford finds himself in the middle of a whole group that is doing some very strange things. This lady Marianne turns up again and tells him to go here, to go there, whether it's a music performance, whether it's this strange castle in Germany that has this rather gross, very rich woman who lives as though she's a queen. Okay, a long story. Let me go into this right now. I did not like this book. It's the first one, number 28 of Agatha Christie's, I really don't like. And I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it. I don't recommend it, but if you can get it cheaply enough, find it at a book fair or something, or maybe the local library has it. If you want to read something by Agatha Christie where, in my opinion, she really screwed up, and I've been writing since I was a little girl. I have been reading since I was a little girl, pretty much all the classics. And this is number 28 in Agatha Christie. I think it's poorly done, it's poorly written, it's poorly constructed. It has huge amounts of dialogue, which I hate, and I mean huge. One person will be giving a speech, and it seems like it's the same speech, no matter who it is, over and over and over, about these students, about the young people who are violent, who are protesting, who are promoting crime. And that, as an example, in France, there is a comment by some officials there that the army will not get involved. No matter what happens, no matter how destructive, no matter how widespread the violence gets, the army will not step in for political reasons. And furthermore, because many in the army agree with these young people who are violent. They are rioting and they're destroying and they're stealing, they're killing, they're doing whatever they want. And this is in 1970, talking, of course, about all the real life rioting that took place around the world in the 60s and into the 70s. Agatha Christie has done something like this before as far as the whole worldwide plot goes, way back in 1926, a book I highly recommend, which is The Big Four. Excellent, wonderfully done. There are others too, The Secret Adversary, They Came to Baghdad, and others too. I haven't read all her books yet, so I can't, kind of go off with all of them that she's written that are a spy novel. But this one is, I think, is terrible. What really gets me is even not so much I can forgive her the story and the lack of really great characters. This Marianne person is not likable. I just want to warn you, she's just not likable. It's the same thing. Oh, it's boring over and over and over. Sir Stafford will be asking her a question. Well, do you think this is going to happen? Well, sometimes I think so. And then she'll go into a speech. And she never says yes or no. I got just over halfway through the book and I quit. I've never done that before. I just said, this is nuts. I'm not doing this. It's a horrible read. It's terribly done. Agatha Christie died in the 70s, and I don't know if this 1970 piece has anything to do with her health, possibly her state of mind. I'm not trying to be mean, but my mother died at 99. I saw older people and how they can get, and sometimes they get confused. And it seems to me in this book that it's extremely repetitious. And you just, okay, fine, I heard that from so-and-so. We get it. There's riots, there's unrest, and there's someone trying to overthrow the world. Let's move on from there and get to something better. Instead, there's this woman, strange woman, Marianne, who's literally telling Sir Stafford Nye, who was a complete stranger, where to go and what to do, and he does it. It's the craziest thing. Like, he's like her instrument, and he didn't even know the woman. He's not working for her. He has no obligation to her. There's nothing romantic between them. Why is he doing this? Because he was bored. Because he did not have a whole lot of success as a diplomat. He's noticed as something of a renegade. And he most likely was picked by her, which is the insinuation in the book, that he was targeted, in other words, because he is a bit of a renegade. He is known for being bored with the job, and he may be one that would jump on something that sounded exciting and certainly out of the norm. My problem, again, with the book is you've got to be kidding. Here's another, and I mean a big speech about the world, about the state of the colleges, about the mentality of the rioters, about the aim, and about the fact that there is a force behind it, okay, that's trying to overthrow the world. We get it. It's just that the first speech would have been enough. From there on, it should be more about either you're for it or you're against it. And if you're for it, what you're trying to do to make it happen. And if you're against it, what you're trying to do to stop it. It didn't happen. I gave up on the book. And I'm actually going back and rereading another work of hers, which tells you a lot, because I don't usually give up on a book. But I said, this is crazy. I got through others that I wasn't happy about, but they were so well done. Such as Cat Among the Pigeons, which introduced Hercule Poirot into the story 2/3 of the way through, which is ridiculous. He wasn't necessary. He kind of like was just okay, we didn't need him. But everybody else was so good, and the story was good, and it was interesting. And you could just see in your mind the lively activity and the things going on. It kept your attention. It kept you going. But Passenger to Frankfurt, to me, gets 2 thumbs down. It got mixed reviews back in 1970. There was a movie made out of it. Of course, it's Agatha Christie. I think someone out there is going to try and make money out of it because of her name, and I think that's about it. May she rest in peace, but Agatha, I did not like this book. And so that is the end of my first Coffee and Christie podcast. And thank you all for being here. Please like and subscribe. I have my wonderful luxury handcrafted soap for sale. I do have quite a few ebooks of fiction and nonfiction that I have published, and I hope that you will buy some of them and enjoy them. And please leave feedback, start a discussion by all means. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.